everybody. Thank you for joining us, our winter edition of the Roadshow. Did you get cold weather where you're at? I hope you did. Across the ice belt, from here to New York, all the way to Montana. I hope everybody's getting ready to get on the ice. And did you get a lot of snow? Hopefully not till there's good ice out there. Good to see everybody joining us here. It's actually below zero here right now. Hey, Nathan, good to have you. Daryl. And the ice is cracking. My porch is cracking. Hey, Mike, good to have you here. We got a really good show, Larry. But before I go any farther, I want to thank Chesterburg Toyota. They're a great dealership in Bemidji. If you're looking for a state-of-the-art facility to get an oil change, if you want to check out their new cars, which are amazing cars, they got a nice little lot of Tundras and they got a mix of cars. They got used, they got a lot of new ones, but this just a great place. These are great people, and they have coffee. They have a nice couch in there and a TV. Sometimes I might be caught loitering in there because it's just a great place to sit back and be. Chesterburg Toyota, thank you for sponsoring us on the air. And then, of course, Frank's Great Outdoors in Linwood, Michigan. These guys are super cool, and I'm going to be going to see them at the Ultimate Sports Show Novi, and that is the 9th through the 12th. I've got seminars there. Good to see you, Kale. And it's fun. I love it there. They are so fishy there, and they're surrounded by great lakes and great times. See, I had to use their own jingle there in Michigan. And Timberline Sports in Black Duck. Many of you know it. If you go to Red Lake, if you go to Lake of the Woods, where do you stop? You stop by and say hi to Carl. He'll get you some sage advice on what's going on and what's going down. You can stop there and you can get a pizza while they're getting you bait. They got guns and ammo all the time, even when there was a shortage. Carl had it there. Stop in at Timberline. It's a special place in its own dimension of cool stuff. Talk to Carl. Stop at Timberline Sports. And before I go any further, I just want to tell everybody we have a good show tonight. We're going to be talking about some new technology. And let's bring on my co-host, Sam Larsen. And basically, it's 50-50. He could be the host. He could introduce me. He's talented. He's a painter. He does all kinds of computer stuff. And he has the walleye stamp for this year. He's got the turkey stamp. So he can create this stuff. Brooke, bring on Sam Larsen.
Hey, bro, how's it going?
I give you such an intro. It's amazing, isn't it? Well, are you even going to talk to me eventually?
I'll try to. But you say I could be the host, but I don't think I could list off all of your accomplishments. So it would take up the whole hour.
My tongue didn't get wrapped. I didn't have that sock on my tongue, as Billy and Hotsy always say. Well, hey, how's it going in your area? And I kind of know the answer, but tell the folks.
Yeah, so we got we had beautiful weather over the weekend, but now we're back into a cold snap, building a bunch of ice. I was able to slip up to Red Lake last Friday with my buddy Alex. Super chilly, actually so cold that after we got the four-wheeler started and out in the lake, we got kind of stuck in 9 feet of water. And the four-wheeler would not start again until about noon when it warmed up a little bit. And then we were able to make a move from morning till noon. We didn't mark a single fish. We got out into 13 feet and started plucking away at them and ended up getting our limit and having a good day on the ice. So, it was really good. Here's my buddy Alex with a decent one we got. So it was a fun day for sure. But now I've kind of got the Red Lake thing done and hoping to poke around the Bemidji area a little bit here. So
there's a little bit of a Red Lake curse when it comes to machinery, isn't there?
Yeah, it's I mean, we've had our days out there.
I've been buried in an old road that blew in, and it felt like you went through the ice, but it was just water under crust. And no winch will get you out of that. It's just old-fashioned digging and jacking the thing up.
Yeah.
Don't want to see that happen.
Yeah. So before we get into it too deep, let's talk about the giveaway tonight. So we got an extra big giveaway tonight thanks to Frank's Great Outdoors. So along with the Northland prize pack, we are going to have an Otter Vortex cabin. So make sure to like, comment, and share. That'll get you entered in to win. So a bunch of the new Northland items, as well as that awesome new Otter hub. So by far, I think, our biggest giveaway yet. Really excited for that one. So
this is crazy.
Like, comment, and share. That'll get you entered in to win. So
that's crazy, isn't it? I love it. Man, I love giving away stuff. I just got to show you before I go any further. iFish Pro has a new look, green. Look at this thing. I love it. Really visible. Don't have to worry about if you're in a heavy traffic area, people running your stuff over. That thing is cool. I like the color. You know, black is okay, but it feels lucky. It feels lucky. iFish Pro, because I reel in my fish when that tip up goes off. But so I actually got out also. I've been checking out the ice. I got clients heading my way. I want to make sure I have everything figured out. I need like 30 spots just to survive a day, because on the worst days, you just got to have a lot of spots to roll through. And I actually got out, and I have a fish here, a notable one, and it was nice. We had it was a little warmer, so I could get a picture outside without freezing the fish. It was a real long one. It was, I never measured it, but it was an ample fish. Had a great time, and I've been getting eaters, largemouth bass. I had Nick Linder up the other day. We were shooting. We caught bass, northerns, perch, pumpkin seeds, you name it. He goes, "You like this stuff?" I said, "This is great." He loved it too. So anything that bites is fine with me. And I got to say, I'm pretty excited about that giveaway, because, Northland Tackle and Frank's Great Outdoors giving an otter cabin. That's the one I've been using. I love that thing. Yep. Fantastic, man.
I tell you what, the comments are flowing in. So keep them coming. It'll be fun to see who the winner is.
Yes. And no matter, it doesn't matter what you fish with, what lure you use. I'm so excited for Humminbird. I love everything that they have, and I'd like to have everything there. So I'm pretty excited. But Sam, you've got the turkey stamp that's going to be coming out next year. You won that. How could people get your print? I want to give you some.
So I just got the prints in of the turkey late last week, so I will be getting them up on the site here probably over the next week or two. But Sam Larsen Art on Etsy is where you can find my stuff. So yeah, the walleye stamp's up there. I will be getting the turkey stamp up shortly, but I got the prints and then a couple framing options too. So
right here, Sam Rembrandt Larsen. Just remember that. You should take that one. That'd be a good one. And I got to tell you, I'm amped up. Thanks, Matt. I'm excited to have my 12 volts. I have a 32 amp hour, 2 of those for my forward viewing, and I have a 52, which is going behind my seat on my sled. You can never have enough juice. But before we get too far and carried away, I'm super excited about this tonight. Sam, we actually have our guest is Wes Anderson. He's product manager from Humminbird, and he's an avid angler. He loves to pursue slab crappies and big bluegills, and he's just an outdoor nut. So, and he loves fishing, which is super cool in that environment. Nice to have someone like that, and he loves ice. So I'm super excited. And Brooke, bring him on. Wes is here.
Hey guys.
How you
doing? Good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And you've got exciting news about Explore Sonars and Mega Live 2.
Yeah. So last week, for anyone that didn't see, we had a big announcement. It's been kind of a long time coming, but we've got our next generation of our easy to use fish finders, the Explore series, which are available on a 9, 10, and 12-inch screen. These are all full HD displays with cross-touch interface, which basically what cross-touch does, it allows you to have full function of your fish finder with either the touch screen or the physical keypad on the side. Or a mixture, whatever works. When you're out on the ice, it's cold, it's wet, you're wearing gloves. You can use the buttons to do everything you need to. And if you can use your fingers on the touchscreen, you can do that too. Outside of that, it's got a brand new, super easy and fast user interface. It's really, really intuitive. We're super excited about it. Along with that, we've got the Mega Live 2 live imaging transducer that's been rebuilt basically from the ground up as far as physical components and the software behind it to really, really improve the clarity and definition and your range. So we've got a lot we're excited about, and just in time to get some time on the ice with it.
I love it. I actually have a picture from the ice. There's the interface there, and if I could do it without getting a reflection, you got the hard buttons, and then you got the touch screen. But there's all these little prompts around the screen, and I absolutely love that. That's a great feature. Right there, you could see. So you could on the screen, you could go plus or minus instantly, or distance if you got it in forward viewing. So that is such a cool thing, and it's so intuitive. It's not. I mean,
Yep.
you don't have to, be a brain. I'm not a brain on computers, but look at this. So I could see these fish slithering through the weeds on this. So I've had a chance to play with it too. I'm absolutely amazed how the fish show up on there. It's really cool.
Very nice. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to use in the weeds on anything yet. I've been chasing fish in the basin, but it's great. That extended range really cuts down on the amount of holes I'm drilling and getting right on top of the fish.
It's
What
amazing
what
lineup.
is the extended range we're looking at with the new Explorer and the Mega Live 2?
So it's out to 150 feet. I'd say so far with my trips on the ice, when we're in kind of the basin, 30 feet, maybe a little deeper, I'm easily spotting schools 120. Just depends how high you crank up some of the settings. But yeah, 100 feet, no problem. You're seeing those schools easy, small fish too at that distance.
Cool. And clarity of the lure, has that improved as well?
Yeah, big time. As far as bait tracking, not as pertinent when it comes to ice fishing, but in your open water situations, a lot of guys to spend the money, make the investment live, they need to use it on the ice and on their boat. So the forward range and jig tracking is incredible. I got to use it a little bit this last fall, and you're seeing a quarter ounce or smaller at 100 feet, and easily seeing a separation from your bait and the fish. So we're really excited about it.
Awesome.
And we already had some questions. Does a touchscreen work with wet fingers and cold fingers? I used it tonight, and I had wet fingers. I had ice on my fingers. It worked phenomenal, and I can't even believe how good that thing works. And it was cold out. We were at like 7 degrees, and it's below zero now. And this is actually an open water deal. I mean, it doesn't really come with a ice bundle, but there's so many available. Just pick one up and put the Explorer on. And I got a picture here. I picked up, this is called Fish Armor. I seen it at the show, and I looked at all of them. Some great stuff, guys, out there who I didn't pick. But this Fish Armor is really cool. And you just take the head unit, and then you get the down rod, which is right there. But that down rod is telescoping, and I got the basic pieces here, where you can see right here. That's what it looked like before you put anything on it. So you could just put the cradle on there and put the sonar in there, and the wires, plug and play. There's in the back, open it up, stick the wires in, and each has a switch. It was so easy. I love it. And it's rotomolded, so you can just about run it over with a tank. I love it, and I've really put it to the use. And nothing scratchy, nothing cuts anything. So Fish Armor, home run, and that down rod, it extends out. I don't even know. I think it's 60 inches, but I've only got it, a foot under the ice. So it's designed for open water. Someone was asking, and I'm glad that we were able to have something like that to put on. So awesome.
Speaking of that, going from ice to open water and shuttles, does this Mega Live 2 have the black box, or is it kind of all included with just the transducer and the sonar unit like Mega Live 1?
Yep, it's like Mega Live 1, so it's built into the transducer and the physical fish finder, the control head. There's no additional black box.
Cool. I think that makes it really nice for people who want to do a lot of switching, whether it's boat to boat, boat to ice. Just one less thing you got to worry about.
Yep. Yeah, and weight on the ice. It's important. Lithium batteries have have become really popular because of this, in these aluminum poles and carbon fiber poles. Everything's about weight when you're drudging through the slush and snow. So having that, not having that black box is an advantage. There's a pretty significant difference in weight.
And there's no pole with it. I actually picked that up on the side, and that's where these aftermarket companies, boxes and poles are relatively inexpensive. But if you just look up Fish Armor, they got everything. They got an enclosed one, and everything can snap on a four-wheeler, side-by-side snowmobile, in your truck. It's pretty hard to beat. So you got to get the pole, but you want to get the Explorer and the wires, and then get the the Mega Live 2, and you'll be set for that. But Helix is amazing. I'm not getting rid of my Helix. My clients absolutely love it through the ice. Everybody can see their lines, and Helix has been arguably one of the best down view on the ice units I've ever seen. I've seen some of the other ones in the distance. This sees, to me, it sees the fish better. So I don't think Helix is going to go anywhere, but definitely, with this super fast processor, I have an Apex on my boat, and this is like Apex. It's crazy. It's really fast.
Yeah, there's been big improvements there. Boot up time and just going between the menus, it's extremely fast. But yeah, I see some questions here. I don't know if you wanted
Yeah.
me to
If
speak to any.
a price, they want to know what price, and then where can they buy it?
Okay. Yeah, we can talk about price. So if we're talking kind of the ice size, which I'd consider the 9-inch Explorer unit, to be probably the most popular for the ice. The control head only is $12.99. That's what you'd want if you're just trying to use it with a live transducer. If you want to use it in the open water season, with your boat and have that side imaging transducer included, it's $14.99 for the Explorer 9. And then Mega Live 2 is right at $14.99. So at parity with what Mega Live 1 was.
That's really not a bad price at all. It's, for a 9-inch touchscreen unit, that's really good. That's cheaper than I was expecting. So cool.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we really kept it within the range of Helix family.
Awesome. So
it's pretty busy here tonight. So Sam, let's try to keep up.
Yeah, I got a question. One thing I saw when you guys did the launch video that I thought was huge, and especially when we talk about bang for your buck, is Humminbird to me has always had the best mapping technology out there. And it sounds like Explorer has the maps built in now for everywhere. Is that right?
Yeah, so every Explorer fish finder will come with a Lake Master and Coastmaster chip in the box. That's a VX chip. So if you have it networked to your Minn Kota trolling motor, it's going to have all the additional functionality there also. So yeah, it's got all of the US, some of Canada, and then the coastal waters.
Which that's huge to just have it out of the box ready to go.
Yep.
A big.
And they talk about
thing for me.
batteries. What size lithium battery? Basically, you could even use a 12-volt 9-amp, but you want to have a bigger one, maybe like a 32 amp hour. And I've got an Amped Outdoors, just easy. The prices were they got a 30 amp hour, and if they didn't run out at the show, that was super inexpensive. I couldn't even believe it compared to what they were a few years ago. And that'll run it all day, cold weather. And this is designed to be in a boat, and it works great on the ice. And but you can mount it to a snowmobile too. And these are simple things. You just got to have juice. So on my sled, I've got an Amped Outdoor 52 amp hour battery. I have a 48 on my older one, and you could just run it for days. I mean, it's just goes and goes. But there's no battery with this. So outside of that, I wanted to ask, as far as stores, what stores are going to be carrying them? And I know there's too many names because Humminbird's kind of everywhere, but just some basic places they could find it.
Yeah, it'll be in all the big box in in all the distribution chains to get to the smaller mom and pop shops too. So I think you name it, you're going to see them. So, your Shields, Cabela's, Bass Pro, Fleet Farm, they're going to be everywhere.
And so we got some screenshots here, and we could put them up, and then we could talk about them, Wes. Brooke, let's look at the Ford viewing here. I like the different color palettes that are available. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I did want to speak to that real quickly. So we developed 15 color palettes that are optimized for live sonar, with different levels of contrast, because depending
Oh,
on the type
amazing.
of fishing you're doing, lower contrast might be a little bit better for seeing some structure. But on that last image, which was the forward view, that I actually took on my unit, I really
Wow.
like those high contrast colors when I'm
Sure.
searching for fish, because they just jump right out at you. They may not look the most detailed with that color palette. You're not going to miss them when you're scanning 120 feet out.
Phenomenal. Very three-dimensional. Look at all the colors. Wow.
And Wes, we were talking a little bit about this before the show, but if Brooke goes back to that photo with the two pillars there, it almost looks like Mega Live 2 has a wider cone angle. It looks like you're getting a little bit more information, but you explained kind of why that is. Can you tell the listeners about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we've got a 20-degree cone angle going forward, and then it's 120 degrees wide when you're in forward mode. But what you're seeing here is we've really optimized our sonar return to interference ratio, and basically what that does is we can put out a stronger sonar and not have the interference blowing up your water column. So we've really optimized that cone angle, and what you're seeing here with you can kind of see the sloped bottom. It's almost three-dimensional rather than the typical two-dimensional look you see on live. In this instance and some others that we have some screenshots of are kind of on a slope. We're parallel to a steeper break, so that angle's seeing more of the bottom because of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And you talk to a lot of the great guys, the pros that are really good at forward-facing sonar, and they'll always tell you that they like to crank up their game just to get as much information as possible, and they'll deal with a little bit of interference, but to get that information back to them. It looks like with the Mega Live 2, you get all that information, but it's still easy to read for someone getting into it with that low interference level.
Yep, for sure.
And people are asking, what's the warranty on this unit, the head unit? And
3 years. 3 years on Explorer.
3 years. Oh, that's great.
Yep.
So one of the things Humminbird's got going for them, at least the Helix unit, is you could attach multiple different transducers to it. Will there be, obviously you'll have the boat transducers with Explorer side imaging, down imaging. Is there an ice dedicated unit for Explorer for just straight 2D, a traditional sonar?
So at this point, we don't have that. We've got what's being launched right now and going to be in stores here soon in early January is our open water control head and transducer. These function the same when you're using it to find fish with live sonar. You can expect that we will follow up with ice units that include a flasher transducer for Explore. And I do want to touch on the Helix. The Helix family below 9-inch is sticking around for a while yet. So we're going to have the Helix 5, Helix 7. We're still going to have those kind of hole hopping size bundles for 2D. You could even run Mega Live 1 on the Helix 7 if you have a networking unit. So yeah.
That Mega Live 1 and the Helixes are a great unit still, and they're bargain because their prices have come down. What are you seeing their prices at, Wes?
I'm seeing them close to half price. I think we're seeing some retailers with them at $1,500, $1,600, maybe $1,700, somewhere in that range.
Amazing.
So for someone that's wanting to get into the live imaging game, and more so for ice, there's some great deals out there right now.
That's amazing. And so remember, everybody, Helix is here. And if you want to wait on this and you want something for a bargain, get it. I've been guiding with the Helix and the Mega Live 1, and we don't have any trouble getting fish every single day. So it's really cool. So there's two different levels. There's Mega Live 1 and there's Mega Live 2. So pick what's right for you, and it'll be good. But we have a couple questions here. So there will be an ice bundle eventually.
Yep.
Okay. And then someone was wondering about 360, a 360 unit that supports Mega Live Plus, or basically, or how far are you away from? I mean, I think they're asking about Mega Live, but I'm sure there's no Mega Live 360.
There's no live 360. Mega 360 is compatible, with Explore. All the Mega technology that we have, side imaging, down imaging, 360, Mega Live 1, Mega Live 2, they're all compatible with Explore.
And then some of these questions are here and there, but what color is the best? I think what Wes had on there was very contrasting. You pick the color that you see the fish the best. So everybody's going to have their own preference on that. And it's so bright and complete opposite colorations really help. And then does Explorer have a flasher screen? I didn't see that.
No, that's what's coming yet in the future. Yep.
So we were talking a little bit about that earlier. Flashers coming, but I think the most important thing is responsiveness. And I know I'm using forward facing more and more individually. I always have the flasher with me, but individually it's getting better and better. I think Bro was talking about the responsiveness of the Explorer. That's huge for not having to rely on that flasher or that down imaging. Talk a little bit about that, Bro.
I got to tell you, I've been using even tonight. When you jig, it's like real time. It's the processor is so fast. I never thought this day would ever be here, where the targets move like in real time. When you're jigging, it's not you jig and then here it comes. It's like real time, and the fish swimming through. You can tell when it's a pike or a walleye or a perch or even a dogfish or bass. I'm just blown away by it. And the cool thing about this, if you get this head, if you pick up Mega Live 2, you can use it on a boat. That's the whole thing. It's not just winter. It's open water, and it links to everything for a one boat network. So I think it's very easy ask for a Christmas gift or a future gift or a gift certificate to get this for all seasons. Just think of all the fish your husband or your wife will be bringing home, whoever fishes in the family. So it's a great gift.
So we know Explore only works, or Explore and Apex work with Mega Live 2, right? How about with networking with other units in the boat? If I have a Helix GN, will that network with Explore?
So Helix will not network with Explore. Solix G3 and newer will, and all Apex. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just comes down to the processing on the network and
how they network and whatnot.
Yep.
Cool.
And then someone had a question. It'll link with the trolling motor. That's an easy question, Wes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, the map chip that comes with it will make the trolling experience even better.
It's a purchase, and you're set for everything. And then is it plug and play right out of the box, or do you need to get a card and download before you use it? It's ready to go. Basically ready to go. And it has a chip you can put in there. It comes with it, the VX chip, which has so many features. You could do a whole show just on VX, but 1 foot map contours. Am I right, Wes?
Yep.
Super cool. And we have up on the screen, Brooke, could you bring up the GPS part? This is pretty interesting here. So Wes, explain the circle. If you draw your finger around it.
Yeah, yeah. So something we're really excited about, and I personally am really excited about for ice fishing, is the new advanced waypoint management. And kind of to take a step back is the connectivity we now have between our phones with the One Boat Network app and your Explorer control head. They can communicate Bluetooth, and you can be scouting. So if I have a trip, I'm going up to the cabin. I'll sit down on the couch and look at some lakes and mark some spots that I think, I want to make sure I check. And when I'm done doing my, e-scouting, I can do there's a lasso feature where you just circle all those waypoints that are on the screen and you just click export. And right on the screen you can see it says Explore 9 there. You click that and it is almost instantaneously on your Explorer. So
Amazing.
yeah, it's really helped me already be more organized and not have waypoints on different units or my phone versus my control head on my live deucer. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
For you summertime team tournament anglers too, that's huge for getting your waypoints to your buddy's buddy's boat or vice versa. I dealt with a little bit that this summer, and it was a little bit of a challenge. So it's nice to have some new things coming out. We got a couple questions in about auto charting and Explore. Can you talk a little bit about that? Will Explore be able to auto chart small lakes?
Yes. Yep. That'll be the same. Yep.
Cool. And you can actually auto chart through the ice, correct?
I believe so.
Not,
I haven't played with that myself.
I say
I'm
it's
not
not
sure.
as efficient, but you can do it. I know with the old Helix unit, dropping a deucer and creating
Yep.
it. So I think that's kind of cool,
Yep.
especially for that really small stuff that
Yeah.
a lot of people can't get a boat on in the summer. So an interesting question that this one will be kind of fun because it'll be more of a discussion than a right or wrong answer. But an interesting question that came through a little bit ago is, do you guys believe some of these, more powerful sonar things spook fish?
Go ahead, Wes. I've
Oh,
got my opinion on it.
so I think they can. I think like anything, fish can be spooked from someone walking on snow with no cleats 40 feet below the ice. I think sonar can have an effect on them also. I think it can also bring them in. I think it just depends. Um, I've been told by many people they believe Mega Live 1 and Mega Live 2 do not spook the fish as much as some of the other live options. Um, I don't have any data to back that. That's just anecdotal stories. But yeah, you hear a lot about it, and you hear a lot of stories of um, not catching the fish, and then they shut off their live and they just go old school, and all of a sudden you start catching some fish.
And Sam's got a story like that, don't you, Sam?
Yeah, I've kind of heard similar things about that, but I think after using forward facing for a year, I think you're right. I think sometimes it spooks fish, but I also think that now that we're seeing fish that we never saw before, we're realizing how many fish are swimming down there and not biting. And the key is you got to find biting fish, but you're just seeing more. So you think it's spooking them, but really those fish have always been there swimming around. You just haven't been able to see them anymore. I think it really depends on the day, but I've caught fish right underneath the transducer in 8 feet of water in the summertime doing it. I don't think it's a major deterrent. Something to play around with, a little tougher bite, but yeah, I don't think it's a big spook for most fish.
And
At least in the
I've
North Country
experienced
where they're not as pressured.
well, and so basically, everything I fish is crystal clear. All the lakes I'm on they're really clear, and I've seen people chasing fish around with loud brands, and I could sit and stare at the fish, and they're not swimming away. And I hear every day. I talk to wardens, the AIS agents, and they all say that they couldn't get the fish to bite. And I think there's a big thing. And when I'm using it, they don't seem to scare away from them. If they're in a negative mood, any noise is going to scare them. From machinery to, like you say, walking people. Some people use their heel,
Yeah.
and some people around their feet. And but I've seen situations, and I love it on the Mega Live 1 with the Helix. You could switch to a 2D sonar, and you could see the fish, and then shut it off and go 2D just by hitting pinging stop. If they're really negative, well, that doesn't hurt to have, and I think so. There's quite a wealth of stuff too on Helix and Mega Live 1 for people thinking about getting one for the first time. It's not a bad thing because you have that, but it does not. I've seen it back to back, me against the other boats or me with other guides working as a group, and the Helix or the Mega Live doesn't seem to scare them like some of the big loud brands. So I think there's something to be said about not having that black box and and having to be able to see that distance without just pouring energy into there. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And
I just saw a question coming from Daniel. Recomment it if you can, because I can't see all the way up. But he was asking about clear and dirty water, and I'm not sure if he was talking about sonar and clear and dirty water or something else. But we can talk about that a little bit. Does water clarity have any effect on a sonar's ability to see?
Yeah, I think you'll always have a little interference, or you can kind of see the particles when there's a lot of algae and other stuff in the water column. Even bugs coming out at night when I'm ice fishing, you'll start to see them kind of light up the screen. It's never really affected my ability to see fish. You might just turn down the sensitivity a little bit if the water's dirty. But yeah, there's going to be some variation from lake to lake and time of the year that you'll have to play with your settings a little bit just to optimize it, but it's usually pretty good right out of the box.
I agree, and I've been out fishing on panfish lakes and really good panfish lakes. There's freshwater shrimp in Minnesota in different lakes. Some lakes they have different alkalinities, different chemistry, and some lakes you pull up a duck decoy, it's full of shrimp, just up and down. And some lakes it's more of zooplankton and bugs. But I've seen firsthand those bugs on the screen, and it's just amazing. It's probably pretty hard to see, but you can see them swimming around and flickering and flashing, and you know why these fish get so big. And you could turn it down. I could turn it on. I don't see any bugs, but I love seeing them. It's kind of fun, and the detail's amazing. And I gotta say, I was walleye fishing in weeds. I found a little clearing, and the weeds were 3 feet below the ice, just really thick weeds on a lake I fished, and I could see the fish. I seen a disturbance going through the weeds, and it was really interesting. So you could prep, and the weed walleyes just hammer it, and it was fun seeing it. And that's one thing I gotta just say, that the Explorer and Mega Live 2 is amazing when you could see something slithering through the weeds. I love it.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, I think, with live sonar, is where the trusty old flashers. I still have my Ice 45 from sophomore year of college. But when those bugs came up and we thought the fish started biting and you couldn't see anything, with a live sonar, you can pick out what's bug and what's fish in that. So it keeps you fishing. It's amazing how much more you can see. So that's where, for me, it really is more important than that down imaging. I like the way Brian's thinking too, that you're gonna have to give that duck spot to me and Brian, and we're gonna go duck hunting in there on those shrimp lakes.
I snagged a camo netting. You could see through it, and I reeled it up, and it was in good condition, but it just looked real like gnarly, full of like slime or something. Threw it in the back of my boat. When I got home, there was all kinds of dead orange shrimp. They were green. If you turned it over, you'd see green ones, and they're absolutely everywhere. So some lakes, even in Minnesota, it's not just Dakotas that have the shrimp. And you wonder why these lakes grow big fat perch and are secret little good lakes. But freshwater shrimp in a lot of lakes, I've drilled them and had them come up, but they're in low populace. So, I'm not a biologist by any means, but, it's just different waters. But I might tell you, but I ain't going to send you a lasso of spots, Sam, unless you're really nice to me. So just so you know that.
I'll bring the camera.
Okay. I'll send you some then.
Okay.
I'll show you where I'm at with the lasso. But so we had just a few more questions, and great questions, everybody. I really appreciate it. Someone was asking, uh, will someone take you on help? Most guides can do a trip where they just take you and show you this unit. I do this all the time. We go out, I show them how to use it in my boat. I don't want to go in other people's boat. I'm insured for my boat. I'll show you how to use it, and then it doesn't take long. You start catching fish. It's pretty easy, and a lot of my clients are so good. I think they're actually too good to go with a guide now, but they still hire me. So I'm glad. I'm glad that works. And you know, as far as it doesn't come in a live bundle. You can just buy the head if you want, and then get the Mega Live 2. That's a good way to go for ice fishing right now. And now, what were the dates again? Just so everybody knows that it'll be open on the market.
Yeah, they should start shipping early January. So you'll start seeing them
Get
on the
ready.
store shelves. Yep.
Is there going to be pretty good fulfillment when it launches, or is it going to be one of those hot ticket items and get it while it lasts?
You know, I'm not sure, if
Okay.
as far as ice goes and the ice belt, it's going to depend on the ice conditions. It's, kind of the tail end of
Yep.
the purchase cycle for ice. So we're not sure. We're stocked and ready though.
And there's a couple more questions. How it works, deep versus shallow, and I think it's clear. Regardless, no matter where you use it, I was using it in 9 feet of water, heavy weeds on one lake. The next place I'm in, 22 to 24 feet, and it doesn't skip a beat. It's just absolutely amazing and super fast from what I've seen. What do you think, Wes?
Yeah, and I was curious your thoughts, but yeah, I've used it shallow. It's great. I'd say we haven't talked about it at all yet, but our landscape mode is much improved, and it may be more of a spring bed fishing and spawn bite type thing, but I've used it in the weeds already this ice season, and we've got a new feature that draws out the fish basically in the weeds and lights them up. It almost, when you
Oh,
turn that on, it almost looks like you're lighting up Christmas lights, and you
oh
can just
boy.
watch them swimming around in the weeds. So I'm excited to keep trying that. I've never been real good myself at getting on real good weed bites, but I'm gonna have to keep trying to put the technology to
I
use.
like that. You've used it. You've used a landscape under the ice.
Yeah, yep.
That's cool. I was going to ask you guys a little bit about that because I've been hearing some people doing it more and more. But shallow weed stuff is what you're utilizing it in.
Yeah, that's what I was using it in. Generally shallower water because your cone's going the other way when
Yep.
you're in landscape, so you don't get the full water column if you're out deep. So shallower water. I was using it under 12, 10 feet, looking into weeds, kind of from a distance. So I drew back and really, you can't fish with it at that angle. You're more scouting. You find where the fish are moving if they're using those weeds. You can try and find pockets that they're sitting in, and you see them moving from weed clump to weed clump. So you
Wow.
drill it out, and sit in the holes and wait for them to come back.
Oh my. I can't wait to use it for perch and for walleyes.
Yeah.
Does
Wow.
does Mega Live 2 come with that perspective mount built into it, or is that an accessory you need to buy?
That comes with it. So with our live Mega Live 2 transducer, that's part of the pack out is
Okay.
our landscape bracket. And that's actually improved. We made some improvements to lock it and make it more rigid and have finer detail. We went to 7-degree clicks from 10-degree. So that's more your open water use case to just keep it more rigid while you're trolling around. It doesn't vibrate.
It's solid. I can't even
Yeah.
believe it. And so we had a couple questions, just simple questions like, does it have an HDMI to hook up to a TV? I don't think so, does it?
Explore does not.
Okay.
Apex is still the unit for that.
Is
Apex.
there any connectivity with your phone through Bluetooth with either Explore or Apex?
As far outside of waypoint management,
Yeah.
There's nothing right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then max depth of this unit. What's the max depth?
Off the top of my head, I wasn't prepared for that one. I don't fish in those depths. It's deep. It's deeper than ice fishing depths. I'd have to pull that up.
Well, that's let's just say that it probably would be no trouble anywhere in Minnesota or the Dakotas or Wisconsin or any place that this place is going to go for use in the 40s and 50s and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then can you use it in saltwater? They want to know.
Yeah. Yep. It's saltwater compatible.
So if for those ice fishing people who become snowbirds in the middle of winter, you're all set on that.
Yeah.
Boy, there's this great reaction. People are fun tonight.
I saw a good question come in by Nate, and actually Tim Price was watching. He answered it, but we talked about Mega Live 2 only working with Explore, but Explore sounds like it does work with Mega Live 1. So if you have an existing Mega Live 1 transducer, you can carry that over to Explore.
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
One thing too, because we're really rolling here, side imaging, it with the super fast microprocessing, does that improve side imaging in 360?
I'm not sure on if there were improvements on performance there. The lineup really got simplified as far as what we offer. So rather than having all these different control head sizes and transducer configurations, we either have control head only or we've got the side imaging transducer. Those are the two. It's a new side imaging transducer. But as far as performance from Helix, you're going to have much higher resolution with the HD display. So you're going to feel a big jump up if you're coming from Helix.
And it sounds like Explore is a little bit more cut and dry, where Helix you had the networking, non-networking units. Some did it as side imaging, non-side imaging. Is Explore going to be able to do it all, or does it have different levels? Okay.
Nope, it just does it all, and your choice is just a control head only or one with mega side imaging, and they all have all the functionality.
Cool. I think that's huge, because I always get a bunch of questions from my friends of, I want to do this, what do I need? And it really simplifies the process for people.
Well, I like it because the processor, you can already see how real time it is. It's so amazing. I think it's just going to improve everything, because when I'm using side imaging or 360, I've got them running fast, and I'm going faster than I should all the time because I'm trying to get fish for clients. And it's different when you're fishing for fun, but when you're doing clients or you got tournaments, and I think just this fast processor, I can't wait to see what it does. I'm super excited about it, and it's going to really help, because you got Humminbird for side imaging, you got Humminbird for your mapping, and you got Humminbird for your forward viewing. This is going to be an amazing thing. So you could, on the screen, you could use forward viewing. You could have 360 in your boat, and if you got a 360 down rod, you could borrow it from your boat, use it on the ice. I think this is an amazing thing, and it's super exciting. And basically, when it comes out in January, we still got a lot of winter left in the North Country. The way we're making ice tonight, if you heard some big booms coming from my side, that's the house and everything cracking outside, because it's dropping really fast. I just about jumped a few minutes ago, but super exciting news. And I mean, don't get any speeding tickets running to the store to get it when it comes out. But I think this is going to be amazing, and it's just a great way to go. And kids love forward viewing. It keeps them in tune with it. They see the fish. They're excited. They want to catch it and see what it looks like. So there's such good positive things. And in ice fishing, you share it. You're in a otter hub, like this cabin we're giving away. You could have all the holes in a straight line, and you could see everybody's line. So it gets real heated. People are yelling when the fish is coming through, and it's like a sports game. So super exciting stuff. And we've had a lot of stuff.
We've gone through all these, new features of Explore and whatnot. But personally, what do you think your favorite part about the new Explorer is.
So we kind of touched on how fast it is, and there's really no latency when you're using down mode. And I've always been a traditional flasher guy myself, and I haven't turned one on this winter yet. I have been using Mega Live 2 in down mode, and the range you can see if you're in 30 feet of water, you have a 60-foot window when you're looking down. So you can see which direction they're going, where to drill the hole next. You can have your buddy drill a hole 15 feet over, and you can both share the screen. It's really changed how I'm moving around out on the ice. So I think for me it's the down mode. The extended range is great. It helps me find fish faster, but using one tool rather than grabbing a flasher has really changed it for me.
Yeah, no, it's cool to be able to do that. And like Bro was talking about, sometimes me and my wife go out and we just bring one now and just pop a hole in the center and watch it. It's fun to see things improving and ice fishing totally changing so much in these last few years.
Yeah,
well, I could see that on my guide trips this winter. I know it's going to happen. My clients are going to want the Explorer, and it's not going to be bad for me to have the Helix with the Mega Live 1 because that thing is deadly in down mode. So I just got to say, make sure to hang on to that because those things are amazing and the prices are good. So, it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're fishing in a fish house, they're both good, but it's the Explorer's nice too for running all the features. Minn Kota, the Ultrex or Altera, and being able to troll brake lines. I think this is super exciting news. And then the waypoint management, and that's one thing we forgot to ask: how many waypoints can this thing hold?
I think it's up to 10,000.
That should be good for a while.
Yeah.
Hey, another question here. So we had someone ask about Apex versus Explore. What I assume that's good and best.
Yeah.
What's kind of the big differences between Apex and Explore besides the price range?
So you've got the true full HD on Apex. I believe is it 1440 by 1280. In Explorer is 1280 by 720. So you have some more details, some definition there. You've got HDMI out. That's the big one, especially when you're talking about ice fishing. There's a few other nuances there. There's the different keypad and some other functionality, and bigger screens. So the Explorer goes from 9 to 12, and Apex is 13 on up. So depends on the size screen you want.
Pretty amazing, and it's so there's Humminbird for everybody's needs, no matter if you're rigging for ice, for an ice castle or a Yeti, whatever house you use, Polar Fox, or if you're rigging for a snow bear or a boat, you're covered. I just know I like the price of this Explorer unit. It sounds like it's going to be a hot potato. Looking forward to it. And well, any more questions, or are we getting close to giveaway time here? It looks like
we're getting close. Got about 5 more minutes left.
I see a question here. How easy to transfer info like waypoints from old units? Is there any differences on the Explorer?
So from like let's say a Helix to your Explorer, it would just be your SD chip.
Next part.
Yep. And then from there, once it's on your Explorer, you could put it into your phone. You could transfer it to another Explorer unit, another Apex unit. It's really handy once you get it into the One Boat network, because you can really link everything up really easily and filter them, group your waypoints, filter them. There's a ton of functionality in our new waypoint management system.
And Sam had a
are you able to pinch zoom on that with the touch screen to kind of focus in on the bottom when you're in down view, just looking at your lure?
So pinch zoom is functional on maps right now.
Okay.
It's not functional on live. You can manually zoom with
okay.
with plus and minus, or just double tapping the screen.
Okay.
Yep. More things looking at for the ice mode software in the future.
Yeah, but that can all come in updates, right?
It'll all be updates. So, yep.
Cool. We have one more question about price again. So remind everyone about the price, because I was kind of blown away at that too.
Okay. Yeah. So the 9-inch for control head only, if you're looking for an ice unit, is $12.99 for the Explorer. And then Mega Live 2 for the Deucer is $14.99, which is the same as Mega Live 1.
Yep.
Fantastic. That's awesome. And then how many SD cards are in the Explorer? In the Explorer, and Wes, you could answer that.
So you have 2 slots. They're micro SD slots. You have 2. Like I said, the Lake Master, Coastmaster chip comes with the unit. So I imagine that'll use one of your slots, and then if you have another one, we have a cool new feature, a screenshot button that can just screenshot and save right to your SD card, and then you'll be able to share it to your One Boat Network app and anywhere else you'd like. So we're working on some other things there with screen capturing. But yeah, so 2 SD slots.
Well, that's fantastic. So you'd want to put an SD in along with your VX chip, so it won't write on your VX chip. It'll write on a separate.
No. Yep.
Good to know. Good to know.
And it does have internal storage also. So if you don't have an SD slot, you can screenshot it. It has some internal storage.
And can you transfer from other brands if they switch over their waypoints? I
would assume there's some way to do it.
I'm not familiar with how you would do that. Yeah, so not
probably
much help
start
there.
over. You got the VX chip
like
now.
There's probably some workaround, but I would assume with how waypoints are stored nowadays, you could get that.
Sam would figure it out.
Go on the YouTube and ask. Yeah. There'll be someone that figured out some MacGyver way of doing it. So
well, and then so what I've noticed too, Wes, is this unit itself has a different look from the Helix. It's kind of like almost Solix or Apex looking when you look at it from the side and the front.
Yep. Yeah. So it's glass edge to edge with the keypad built in. So it's very much like a Solix or an Apex for the feel of it. It feels really nice and clean, and
it's really
like
streamlined.
It is. It's very streamlined. Yep.
And the where the cables go in the back, it's a screw-in type of cable.
Yeah. Yep. That was a change. That was a change from previous Helix models. Instead of being a push-in plug, all the connectors are threaded on now.
So no tray needed. Just push them on and turn it, and it's locked in.
Yeah.
And that's good to know, because if you're ripping across a lake on a snowmobile or 4-wheeler, the way my friends do sometimes. So there it is right there. And this is a case. It's really concise. It's got a lot of ice going on my lap right now. And what I like about it, you can see here, if I turn it sideways, it's really streamlined. And I've got tackle boxes in here and everything, but I noticed the transducer is really sleek looking, and it changed a little bit. It's got a little different dimension to it. I'll bring it up to the camera here.
That was a good question. Someone asked what size hole you need to get the transducer down. 8, or does that fit in a 7? Bro, have you tried yet?
I'd say 8. And so when I drill the peanut, people are wondering, why am I drilling the peanut hole? And so I didn't drop a transducer, so they're confused. With a 6-inch auger, you overlap the holes with a razor auger, because razor has a center point, and you could drill, it looks like a peanut or a figure 8, and this will fit right down in there, and you can pull a fish right up next to it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to drill a 3rd hole, well, you're starting to get a big hole, so you might want to mark it with a stick. But I like how sleek this is, and it really lends itself nicely for ice. And I think it's going to be a good transducer. The way it's built, you got to understand, this is solid for in a boat. And that's been a big deal. Is they're looking a little bit fast. You don't have to worry about this thing is solid.
Yep.
So, well, we're getting that time. And I appreciate you coming out, Wes. Wes Anderson, a product manager from Humminbird, a great place. And this guy is no stranger to ice fishing. He's a fishaholic like the rest of us. And I'm glad to have you there. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Thanks, Wes.
Yep. Have a good night and good luck ice fishing. So we're getting close to that time, Sam.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to be walking away with a lot of loot. Could you show them what they're going to be getting?
Yeah. One more time, and then I think Brooke's going to pick out the winner here. So we have a bunch of new Northland stuff. So the new tungsten buckshot spoon, tungsten slim spoon, the brass thumper spoon, and then the new tungsten broom bug and well, gosh, I'm slipping on what the other one's called right now. But new tungsten pre-rig jigs, and then of course the Otter cabin vortex from Frank's Great Outdoors. So that is a huge deal.
Look at that door.
Anyone who liked, comment, and shared will get entered in to win here. I think Brooke's going to send it over any minute. So
check this out. That door and that Otter, you could walk in with a bucket in each hand, and you can walk out with walleyes in a bucket and your rods in each hand. That's what I love about it. And I can't believe we're giving that away. That's an amazing prize. And so that's what separates the podcasts. I'll tell you that.
We got it. You ready?
Not yet. We got one more thing. I want to thank Chesterburg Toyota. Of course, I got to give thanks to my peeps. Chesterburg Toyota, a great dealership in Bemidji. If you're thinking about getting a car, stop in there. Chesterburg Toyota is a beautiful state-of-the-art place. You'll see when you're there. They have great service. They can change your oil, give you tires. Stop in and say hi to Brian and the gang. And then also Frank's Great Outdoors in Linwood, Michigan. They're going to be at the Ultimate Sports Show the 9th through the 12th in Novi, Detroit. I'm going to be there doing seminars. A great place, Frank's Great Outdoors. And thanks for giving us the Otter Hub to give away. And that's on Frank's and Timberline Sports at Black Duck. If you want to get fishing gear, bait, if you want to get pizza, if you want to buy a gun, if you want to buy ammo, they got it there. Talk to Carl and get some sage advice on what's going on in Red, Lake of the Woods, or surrounding area. So for now, here we go. The drum roll, please.
Tonight's winner is going to be Wendell Clemma. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Wendell Clemma.
And get your shipping address. Have Jace send out the Northland stuff, and then we'll get that. Frank's gonna ship the house out. I assume
they're gonna be shipping the house. So awesome. We need your address if you want to send it in. We'll get that out to you as quick as possible so you could catch fish in it. I also want to thank Sam for helping out with this. It's been a lot of fun, Sam.
Yeah, it has.
And we might have one more episode, but no guarantee because we're getting into that guide time. But we'll definitely have Facebook Live and other stuff. And I also want to thank Brooke Drace for being a good producer and taking care of this craziness that we have here. And creative marketing, Heather, my wife, Brosdahl. She's got some really cool stuff. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook Reels, and other promotions, and Northland Fishing Tackle, and all the sponsors you see. And make sure, and Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you have a great Christmas, and Santa has something under your stocking. And Merry Fishmas, I should say. Merry Fishmas. So thanks for watching.